Okay, cool. First of all, we will see the CSS property display. So for that, I have made a lot of span elements with different classes and have styled differently them. Okay, so you from the name it's clear. Display means how the element will be rendered in your HTML page, how they will behave in display. That what it the property sets. Okay, so let's see. This is an it has display property inline. So if an element have the inline property, that means it will go according to the normal flow of web page. Okay. uh, Apart from that, you can see that I had added some padding and margin and it's following that. Okay. Yeah, it was class A which was inline. You can see here inline objects. Let's go to the styles. You can see here span.a. I have put width and height 100 pixels, but it was not showing. That means width and height value are not applied to inline objects. That is by default to your. If you don't specify the display, it will be by default inline. So in but margin and padding are being applied. Okay, so let's move to the next possible value for display. So you can see here these are the block. That means display block the different value, and what it does, it actually applies your width and height, and the elements take the whole width. That means the other element have to start from a new line. That is the beauty of this block object. Apart from that, we can check that for span class dot span b. Okay, span dot b. So it has display block and width and height was applied. Cool. uh, what in case you want to apply width and height to your inline objects, right? That means it will follow the normal flow of your web page, and also height and width attributes are applied. So this is the possible solution, inline block. So width and height are 100 pixels as we said, and it is following the inline. So these are the three display values. Apart from that, you can also set them like table row, table column, table caption, table header group. Even you can set display none, that will make the element invisible. That is quite used in JavaScript when you want to toggle between something, like if you want to click on some button, then it will change the style to none so that it will become invisible. It will be very helpful. So yeah, that's pretty much about display properties. Now let's come to the next property, which is float. So you, as the name suggests, you can float in left, right, top, like this only. So uh, let's go to our code. Okay, yeah. So these were spent d dot e. So yeah, d. This was class D, which was saying I am Groot. I have floated left, and span e I did float right, and in span dot f I did inherit. And there was an interesting thing. The class actually, yeah, yeah, class f was inside class e, so it will inherit from class e because I have set the property inherit. Okay, let's see now. Yeah, so this was class c, which was set float left, so it will float left on your web page, whatever your viewport is. Viewport means your the screen, right? Yeah, this was set float right, so it's floating in the right. And this one has some margin and padding, some margin actually. Yeah, and it has inherited from this parent and parent element, so it has also the float right value. Okay, so In float, you can have the values like left, right, or even none, or inherit or initial. Initial is the default value, inherit is the value they inherit from their nearest parent, or you can say ancestor. Yeah, that's about float property. Now let's come to the next property, that is overflow. Okay, so you know what is overflow, right? Say we have a container of 100 into 100 and we wrote some text inside it. So if you don't specify the size of text, it will automatically fit. But if you specify the size, font size, then it may be the case that it get overflowed, right? Let's see what I'm saying. So yeah, mm, that was upon, yeah, that was class F, right? In class F, I have written some more lines of text. Let's go to class F. So it has overflow value. Let's make it first. Just keep it in as it is. And let's refresh this. Uh, yeah, you can see this has overflown. So this is the overflow. So how to deal with this? So there are many possible options we can make. By default, it's like overflow will be shown, and this is also the case of visible. If you set the overflow equals visible, then it will be shown. But what if we set is hidden? Okay, let's try. Well, let's see. Okay, yeah. So you can see that whatever the overflown text was, it is not visible. So it's hidden now. So you can make this, or when you can make it like scroll bar. Like you might have seen if something is, yeah, scroll. What it does, yeah, let's refresh. Yeah, you can see that there is a scroll bar and you can read the whole text. It has both horizontal and vertical scroll bar according to whatever the size, just to retain the style you have put. Yeah, and apart from that, you can have the value visible. We will see that to visible. Okay, yeah, that's by default, so it will be visible. That's pretty much of it. You can also use inherit and initial. Initial will be default value. Inherit will be the value that it will get from its nearest parent. Yeah. So this was about overflow that you have to deal with, because you may come across this while designing your blog or any website. So this was about overflow. Yeah. Apart from that, we have a property called position. So it's like you can apply the position left, right, bottom, top, anything. So how does it work? It has a few categories. Like it have generally five categories. Like you can have the position absolute. So uh, position absolute, relative, static, fixed, or sticky. These are the five possible values that display can have. Sorry, that's position can have. Yeah. Yeah, so position static. If you put the position value static, then it will be by default. It will be according to the normal flow of your web page. And I'm talking about static position. Yeah, if you put relative position and then specify like left equal to 10 pixels. So let's say if this element according to normal web page flow will be here, and if you put position relative and then specify 10 pixels right, so it will move 10 pixels right to its normal supposed position, normal flow position. So it's relative to the normal position, right? There can be the position fixed. That means it will be fixed to your viewport. Like if it's here, then if even if you scroll, it will be here only. So you can have that value position fixed. Position absolute is the position relative to its nearest position ancestor. So it was like inheritance. If it's yeah, like if you position absolute, then it will be relative to this one. So whatever you do with this, it will be reflected to this element. And there is sticky position that actually toggles between relative and fixed. Like if you scroll, then it will become static, or I mean fixed, or it may become relative. That depends. Yeah, so that's pretty much of it, guys. Thank you. Thank you for watching.